want to look at these. So like this right here, this would be a one-click just buy, right?
That can bring up your trading panel, yes.
So that'll bring this up.
Well, if you click on it, it's not necessarily. You got to be careful because I mean, I think there are some settings on there where if you click on that and then it's automated.
Exactly.
So
I want to get into those settings to make sure that
do this, Eric.
Bam.
Go here to Tradeovate. Let's log out real quick and let's go into paper trading. So we can actually click and buy and sell, and let's literally do. So just log out of Tradeovate, and now let's log on to this paper trading over here.
Over.
It's just this one right here. See where my circle is? If you scroll down, you'll see paper trading. Right here, paper trading.
Got it.
Okay, connect to that. So now you can literally go through, utilize your trade button to bring up trade tool. You can click on these buttons and we can actually see how things are set up. So you can click on these buttons to bring up trade tool. But there's two different ways to bring up that trade tool.
See, that's market executed. So
okay, and that's significant to know because
right,
that means because mine doesn't do that.
Close.
When I click on mine, it'll bring up my trading tool. So that means
that's what I want to do. Yeah, I want just to. So is there a setting here, something that we can? Well, you adjusted it.
I never did make it automated. That's so there's a setting there somewhere. Actually, let me click on mine here. Because it's just a setting, and it might be right click, hit trading. Okay, yes, do a right click here on this blue button.
On the buy?
Yep, I'm over here on the top left.
Okay.
A right click. Okay, go down here to settings right here.
Okay.
Okay, see this and then click on trading here.
Okay.
Instant order placement. Mine's not checked.
Okay.
And so that'll protect you going forward. So now hit apply to all.
Now, is it going to bring this up? That's the thing.
Yes, it will. It's not going to be an automatic market order. And that's why we're changing that. So hit apply to all, hit OK. Okay, now go ahead and close that out. Yep. Now click on that.
There we
go.
go.
Brings up the tool.
Right.
That way now you get to go ahead and deal with your bracket orders. Take profit, stop loss, how many shares or lots, what price, buy, stop, buy, limit, sell, stop, sell, limit.
Right. Now, can I set this up automatic? So I do click this and it's bam.
I don't know of a way to do one click and have a bracket order, like buy, stop.
Okay.
But
that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind going in and doing it. Sometimes it happens quick, like this guy right here was boom, it just shot up like crazy. To get in on something that quick, it's hard sometimes. So yeah, it's like, oh, it gets by you. So oh well. Next. But okay. All right.
So that way you know how to not always be in a market order, but yeah, so even though I had like a sell stop, when I click on it, I put my auto execution on and there's no bracket or anything there.
Right. Okay, good. All right, so just bring it up, whichever one I want to do, and then do the state profit, stop loss, and then enter it and go in. But yeah, I like to put in the long or short tool as a reference first, so I got all the numbers and everything. That makes it nice.
Yeah. Let me show you one other thing though, Eric. You're in paper trading still, correct?
Yes.
All right. Go back to your settings and put that instant order execution on.
Okay.
Okay, and then hit apply to all. That way we're just consistent across everything. All right, now go ahead and hit a sell. Just hit your sell button. I want to show you something. Okay, so it automatically executed. But put your cursor over here. You should have a take profit stop loss option just over in here. There you go. So now you can grab this stop loss, move it up, take profit, move it down. So you still have a bracket order opportunity. In other words, grab this SL or this TP and you can drag and move those around.
Okay.
Stop loss, because you're in a sell, you want stop loss to be above. There you go. And you take profit, you can drag it wherever you want.
Okay,
So,
there we go. All right.
So
But
the
that's
bracket
kind of
order
crazy
still,
because it's all in the center at the beginning. It's like,
yeah. So if you want to get in quick, then you would use these buttons, instant order, and you still have your bracket order adjustment to make.
right.
But if you're like, hey, if price breaks down below this candle or this certain price, I want to do a sell stop, then you don't need a hurry. It's a planned, you've got a certain condition you're waiting on to be met. Then you pre-configure your risk, your take profit, your stop loss via the trade button, and you pre-configure that all in advance. If you want to use these buttons with instant execution, it's basically going to be a market order, but
Right.
you still have the bracket configuration that you can do.
Right. Right. Yeah. So you just
So
get in and you got to drag them up or
yeah,
down.
so if you're scalping, then these buttons, instant execution, are not a bad deal. For a planned specific trade entry, trade management, trade tool, define your parameters in advance and then wait for price to actually then trigger your entry. So
Right.
two different things right there.
All right. Yeah. Well, so if I adjust this, it's just gonna be the same as coming down here and clicking on that. So, now on your phone, that's a
Well,
little
you
different.
made the comment that, hey, sometimes it's really quick, you'd like one click. So
Right.
so knowing that there is an option to do the one click and then still have bracket orders that you can go in and adjust is valuable. That answers that
Right.
question.
Right.
But 99 out of 100% of times you're trading, you're going to go ahead and pre-plan your entry, stop loss, and
Exactly.
take profit.
Yeah. It's like I don't feel that comfortable doing that, but so yeah, if I adjust this so it won't automatically do it, that'll be like a safety net for me.
Yeah, it's a market
But,
order. It's going to fill immediately.
right. Right. So if I take that off, then it'll just bring up the trade.
There you go. And now
So
you control
that'll be more
exactly.
comfortable anyway.
Yep.
So,
That's the smarter way. Absolutely.
yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Now on your phone, Android's a little different.
Yeah,
I
Android's a little different. iPhone's a little different. Your iPad's a little bit different, but
don't do any Apple. So I'm Android. Do you have iPhone or
I've got an iPad, but I do have a Samsung phone now.
Samsung?
About a
Okay.
year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I changed over. Year and a half.
Okay. Yeah, I got Samsung too. So it's a little small to work with. I don't really enjoy it, but necessary to get in on that. What I mean, because it's not like this. You don't have all these features. Nothing's really. It's not all there. So I've looked and tried to find other things on here to make it, to try to work it like this, but it's evades me.
Yeah, I'm bringing my phone up here. And the phone makes it kind of nice with that auto, as long as that auto execution is off, then just hit that buy or sell button, depending if you want to go long or short, and it brings up that very familiar trade entry window. So then you can select buy, sell, limit, stop limit, put your units, take profit, stop loss. You see that?
Okay, well, where is okay, trading, instant orders placement, take it off. Okay, now, okay, then I log into Trade Evade. Okay, All right, now that'll bring up that other thing. So put on the chart and then do that, and then that should bring it up. Okay. I think that, yeah, I took the instant off, so that way it's going to bring up the trade chart so that I can adjust it, put in my numbers or whatever, and then hit go. Let's see. Trade. Connect. Okay. There we go. Stop. Much better. Okay. Now I feel a little more comfortable on the phone. Now I got that. Good. Awesome. Yeah, just the same thing as your computer. So now I got that set up. Oh, hush. It's okay. You're cute. I know. Lily, hush. Come here. Come here. Girl. Do you want to see what I'm doing? Okay. There's Lily. Say hi, Lily.
Hi, Lily. Ruff.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Good girl. Okay, good. All right, now what? What's up with this strategy tester? Does that?
That's well beyond the scope of anything that I can cover with you. That's
Okay.
you having different strategies within TradingView and
Oh, okay. All right. And replay trading, all this stuff is just standard. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, today so far, really, there's only this one good hammer so far that I can see. I was up at 7 this morning, 10 to 7. Hoping to see something like yesterday, but didn't happen. I saw this here, but there's really no indicator that this is going to go up like this.
yeah, and that's kind of a question I got for you. Because you've got indicators on there. Looks like, obviously your 10 EMA, I'm seeing that.
Just everything that we did for the VWAP trap.
Yeah, but everything you've talked about so far is you're going long, when you're below VWAP. You're going long when you're below the 100. And there's definitely, within gold, things, they're magnets if you are below them, but overall, if you look at it from a short perspective, when you're up above VWAP and around your blue line, then you start looking for short entries when it breaks back below those, because your blue line, your VWAP, your 100 EMA, they're actually kind of pointing and trending down. So your probability of short trades is higher than your probability of winning long trades. You're counter trend trading on a 15-minute time frame.
Right. Now looking at this first one from yesterday morning, you got this hammer coming in, and you got this kind of shooting star here, and then it just
what looks like a better trade, that shooting star at rejection from VWAP going short,
right,
or going from below the 10 up into VWAP, and then hey, you take a profit, but then you get rejected where you took profit. It rolls back down well below your entry. You're not in a trend on that long trade.
Right. Exactly. That's another thing I was noticing too. It's like, okay, well, trend is your friend, but it wasn't going down too much. It was heading down a little bit. When this first one hit, it was like, okay, it was kind of just going a little sideways, and then this come down, and then that hammer hit. It's like, well, that hammer is too beautiful to ignore.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looked.
But that inverted hammer at rejection from VWAP
right there,
below the 10 EMA, that's even more harder to ignore.
Right.
That's consistent with overall trend. Your risk to reward is far better, and your probability of the follow through is actually a lot better, because you're You're trading with actual VWAP trap. You're trading with your 10 EMA. You're trading below your 100 EMA, which is trending down. You're trading below your 200, which is trending down.
Right. Yeah, I did notice that too. And that was just like in between everything. And I was not even around, at that time to even see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that too yesterday.
Yeah,
And
these
that one would have been, bam, nice.
it seems bullish here, but you got rejection up here above your 200. And then it kind of pulls down, let it pull down. Here's a nice hammer, but then you come up, you confirm kind of this lower high and rejection again. Gold has these flushing moments. So that's where your stops have to, because even here trading with the trend, you got this little pullback rejection at the 100. If you're to kind of get in below, even below a bull, but your stop would be up here above this 200. So you would even get taken out here.
Right.
Come up, and again, your kind of overall trend is still going down. It rolls back over. Well, that's a 3R win, rules-based, conditions-based trade. Rules say, hey, I'm going to trade when my 100 EMA, my 200, and my 10 is below my 100 and 200. I'm only looking for short entries.
Right.
That's a condition that needs to be written out and then followed very, very strictly. Now, there are exceptions, and you're going to win on these little scalps, but you're not trading a trend here at all. This is 100% counter trend.
And I
You
did
got
notice
lucky
too.
Yeah, you got lucky. Here is more of a rules-based condition 1, condition 2, VWAP, condition 3, condition 4. Hey, I've even got a specific hammer that's interacting with my 10, inverted hammer, nice interaction with the 10, my stop up here, my entry here, with my take profit down here at far more than a 1.2 even. That's the conditions that you want to say, hey, for me to really maximize my opportunity to be profitable over time, I'm going to trade with the trend. These hammers are beautiful, Eric. Don't hear what I'm not saying. Beautiful hammers.
Right.
But when the trend is down, look for the inverted hammer.
Right.
Because this is just sideways. Yeah, there's momentum going to come in here. Yeah, there's a scalping, and you got to define your risk on that, because you're not going to win as much.
Right. And I was looking at
right here, but there's opportunity there for sure.
Maybe here, I wouldn't go above this. That'd be maybe here, would be the line for, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you gotta also respect, especially gold, just like NASDAQ, it moves around. The fact that we have, can you scroll this down just a little bit? Okay, the fact that here we have a high. So when this comes in, just because you get in like here or something, this is going to frustrate the piss out of you over and over. You're going to get wicked out of trades.
Right.
You've got to. You just come off of your 200s trailing down. And if because this is not a bad trade. I like getting in over here a lot better than above this hammer. But you've got to realize that, hey, what's a logical, we don't want our stop so large that we have to move down so far, but you've got to have some consistent rules on how you're going to place your stops so that you don't get wicked out.
Right.
Because the trend from here to here is definitely bearish. We have a high here. We have a kind of a lower high here relative to this. We don't want to get wicked out at what we know to be support, our 100 EMA. We know to be, I'm sorry, resistance, our 100 EMA. We also know that our 200 is functioning as resistance. We want our stops, if we're going to go short, we want them above known resistance. If we're going to go long, we want our stops below known support. And you got to give price action a little room to move.
Right.
So those are just some things to definitely consider. How can you be consistent in your trade entry? What conditions? And we can strip a lot of this way. Maybe it's just the VWAP and a 10 EMA and like 100 EMA. Maybe it's just that 200 SMA and a VWAP and a 10 EMA. You know, hey, if the 200, if price is going above the 200, below the 200, or above VWAP, below VWAP, hey, it's sideways. You know, that's where your hammer might come in and scalp. You know, you're not going to take many losses. You're just going to get in, get out. But when your 10 EMA is below your 100, below your VWAP, below your 200, that becomes what we're waiting for, what we're looking for, because now I'm waiting for that pullback, possibly an inverted hammer. But overall trend right now is short during this time frame, and your probability of winning is much better by looking for the short entry versus the long entry under those conditions right there.
Right. Then when we got down here, and it's starting to level out.
Yeah, and then what do we have? You know, we do have some variances. Okay, you've got the bodies of these candles, nice support right in here. Great consolidation. You got a nice little kind of a trapping wick there. Hey, this does have some type of consolidation, possibly reversal flavor to it. This right here is has a lot more meat to it to go long back up towards VWAP than one hammer candle by itself. Can get you in trouble a lot of times. Yeah, you can look back and say, man, I wish I would have got above the hammer, but it's one by itself. If this hammer happened to be following, you know, prices down here, it comes back up, and this is like a double bottom, and the hammer is in that second leg of a double bottom, that's a different story. That's a whole different condition that presented itself. Kind of like we break out above the bodies of these candles, well, down, up, down, up. So here's your second leg of a double bottom. At least you've got one strong confluence that says, hey, there might be an opportunity to go long back up towards VWAP. Over here, there's just not enough confluences. It's against the trend. It's only one hammer. It got taken out just a few candles later. You were lucky here, is what I'm saying. And I'm just going to tell you the truth. I don't want to hurt your feelings. You know, don't want to hurt your feelings. But if you really can say, hey, wait a minute here, I do want to have, I've got these indicators on for a reason, and we got to use them for that reason. Hey, they're pointing downward overall. So hey, today, at least during this time frame, I'm only looking for short entries. You see this right here.
This one would have been great right here.
Yeah. Beautiful hammer. Now it's not as distinct and as beautiful as this one, but that is absolutely, again, look where it comes from. Down here, up, down, up, down. Double top, hammer in the second leg, beautiful follow through.
Yep.
Down here, I'll repeat it again. Down, up, down, up. Breaking out above this right here with a good follow through. Counter trend here, but again, we're extended. We're quite a ways below the 10. We're quite a ways below the VWAP. You like long. I can just tell that. You're always looking to go long. But do you have
I'll go either way. Either way, I've done a lot of short too. I'm now. Do you color your candles black and white?
I've got a black and white across most of my charts now.
So black would be.
Black is bear.
Black is bear.
Black and red are bear. Green and white are bulls.
That's what I'm thinking about doing myself. Just, I think it might help mentally.
Yeah, and from a zoom perspective, that dark blue top left, I struggle to see, hey, what time frame you on?
Right. Yeah. I'm
Gold,
gonna.
it's very difficult on my eyes, but I don't know if
Yeah.
that's on my end.
Yeah. I need to change the color scheme a little bit.
Yeah, if you just change that text maybe to white, and you can keep your background the way it is because it's a pretty background. And actually,
Right.
I like your color scheme as a whole, but that black font, that's where it's tough to read.
Right. Right. Yeah. I'll
If
get
that
in there.
font was white, man, it'd be a beautiful setup.
I think I might just do that. Okay. Good.
Yeah, so that's my takeaway today for you, Eric, is
Perfect.
um, again, trade with the trend, and you know that. But those indicators you have on there, utilize them for that purpose. Because this right here, you got lucky, but
Right.
again, down, up, down, a lower high again, VWAP trap. We got rejected at VWAP, followed by a beautiful hammer, beautiful interaction with the 10. We're getting in below the 10, beautiful follow through. And then
Yeah.
you ended up down, up, down. There's your reversal, double bottom, good follow through there. So good trades there. Here's just a scalping opportunity. If you get in, get out, that's one thing.
Right. Right.
Just got to be careful because this easily could have, without you looking, you would have went up and gone to the bathroom, and this wick could have come all the way back down to here.
And that's one
And
thing that
rolled
I'm
over.
not going to be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be sitting here. If I'm in a trade, I'm not. No, that's it. I got to be in. I'm in it to win it. So, yeah. Now, as far as indicators and alerts, how can you set up alerts and what can you
Oh, let's just
alerts can you set up?
example. Um, alerts now are only going to be effective over here. So let's set up an alert if it crosses below this 100. So, well, what I use actually, I'll grab like this little horizontal bar draw line
Okay.
and just click on that. I'll drag it where I want to alert. Let's just say here, hey, if it crosses over this particular price, see this little alarm clock right here? Click on that. Okay, so then you got some options here. Because basically you're saying, hey, if it crosses this horizontal line on the 15-minute time frame gold, hey, do I want it just to chirp once, or do I want it to go, once per minute, keep going until I turn it off? So that's where you kind of set up how many times do you want it to go off.
Okay. So I just go down here, put whichever one I want. I want to go 10 AMA or if it's crosses the VWAP,
Yeah. There's
whatever I want, I can go in there.
20 different, there's infinity ways to set up alarms. You're absolutely right. I'm
Okay.
just sharing a way. I got a specific price that I usually will use. I'll just drop a quick line on there and then I'll walk away.
Okay.
But
Now it'll
absolutely, if you
notify me
wanted
on
to
my
cover the
phone.
cross over the 100 EMA, which is really kind of our intent here, or the 10 EMA, then drop down here. Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes more sense than a horizontal line because this is going to change. And if it does, slightly or whatever change, but then the hammer the price gets below that or whatever, then I get an alert on my
A
phone
lot
or
of times I
whatever.
just want to be notified if I'm going back towards like my moving average, I want a line that's a little bit above it so I get alerted in advance. And then I'm
Right.
back here to say, okay, am I going to break through my 100 versus if I wait until it breaks through the 100? Well, what happens if it flushes?
Right.
So
Right.
I like the lines because then I can set them up a little bit before I really want to be notified.
All right.
That's just a
That
way.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, go to notifications here on your create alert, because now this is where you can make sure you're playing a sound. And then do you want it to go, you can see here's the different sounds. And so you can click on these little arrows right here and kind of hear the different sounds. Are you muted or?
No,
I'm
you
not,
can't hear them?
are you hearing them on your end?
Yeah,
That's all that matters. That's all that
yeah,
matters.
it's coming through my speaker, so.
Perfect. So there's the different sounds you have. I like that fault, which is to me not a positive sound. Then
Right,
I think it's the three notes reverb. A lot of times kind of has an upbeat sound. I kind of like that for its preference. It doesn't matter what you use. The other setting that I like on these is now you can send, email. This is the other one actually. Hey, once, multiple times, but you can have, maybe you've got an email that you just set up an email that only receives TradingView. That's actually, I'm just thinking of this right now because I do not have notifications on my email. But if I was to maybe create just a separate free email account and I just called it Eric Steinmetz TradingView at gmail.com, well, then you could put that in there and then just have email alerts, for that account, because then it's only going to be TradingView stuff. That's it.
right, right,
I've never thought of that until right now. But this one, sometimes I will want this to go on multiple times to make sure I'm getting the attention.
right.
I want it to
So,
go on for like a minute a lot of times, and that's where my phone will just start blowing up until I delete the alert. Because if it just goes once, a lot of times I'm going to miss it.
right, right.
So that's a way. And then you hit create. And now
Okay,
you don't do anything until it comes and crosses over that 100 EMA, essentially. You kind of walk away.
all right.
The other one you might do is like, hey, as long as I don't get this fault, because if we're making a newer high here, well, then that means our direction is kind of bullish. So if I come back up and breach maybe a line here, that might draw my attention, because if I break up through that, retest, and then continue up, hey, that's a pretty strong bullish sentiment. So that way I've got an alert that says, hey, if this area gets retested again and becomes support, I want to go long. If we come down and this 100 EMA and VWAP become resistance, well, then I'm going to go ahead and continue short.
Right.
So you can kind of set up those alarms, 15-minute time frame. It can get pretty rough to sit there and watch 15-minute candles develop.
Yeah, and that's another reason I like to have the 15 up here and then the 5 down here, and then I'll put it on 4 and look at other tickers, but I really don't want to stray too far. I mean, I watch this other thing on YouTube, and Bitcoin's way up. Well, it's too late for that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I wish I would have seen it, but there's really nothing. This little hammer here, but it's a different animal.
Yeah, and there's some value in, like, you're drawn to gold and a little Bitcoin, but there's some value in just practicing and studying that asset. Like I like NASDAQ, MES. Those two really trade very similar. And majority of all my trades are just within the NASDAQ because I study it and I look at, and then I just rinse and repeat. These conditions are met. I've got a trend line. I'm only looking for longs. I'm only looking for shorts, what have you. What are those conditions? And then I execute. I don't have any other discretionary trading. That's where I give money back. That's where I lose it. It's like, well, no, what's my plan say? Am I above or below the VWAP? Is my 100 EMA pointing up or pointing down? And then is the candle close to the 10 EMA? The nice little pullback where I've got a high probability of follow through if I get in below that candle or above it. That's all.
Right.
Anything else is a different strategy, and that's just not really what I focus on. I don't have any solid battle plans on how to go in and scalp. And
Right.
be successful
Yeah, just want to keep it simple.
Yep, keep it simple and consistent, and that's going to be your surest way to start generating some cash so that you can pay those bills and not be under stress. You got to keep it simple and then consistent. And then when you lose a day, so what? Because if you're winning more days than you're losing, that's what you need to see at the end of the month. And
Exactly.
you've got to be able to psychologically not allow the losing days to bother you and make sure those losing days are within your risk tolerance. You know, if you lose more than 2 hours in one day, hey, walk away. Because
Oh,
more days
definitely.
than not, you're going to win, 1.5 hours.
What it's about. Yeah, and looking at today, so far, nothing that I caught so far. So fingers crossed, seeing how it goes. Did here at 9 o'clock, this thing went crazy. Was there any news that you know of this morning on gold at 9?
At 9 o'clock, so 6 o'clock my time, absolutely. That's where we had the jobs report. And go to you've got to make sure on your favorites you've got a market watch of some sort. Here's the one that I use, which seems to work pretty good. I dropped
Maybe
it
an
in
email.
chat. If you see your chat,
No,
don't ask me how to tell you where to find it, but I just dropped you a chat.
no, it's behind. It dropped down and I lost it. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, click on that and add that to your favorites, because you're going to see at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, there was significant news that came out.
Yeah, and I know usually at 9 something happens. Um, so all right, I'll put that under my trade
Yeah, and
tab.
that particular market watch site, it's all in Eastern Standard Time. So even though it says, hey,
Oh,
10 o'clock job openings, factory orders, that was the news. That's one of those that are weighted, and that did create quite a bit of volatility on the NASDAQ, on all the markets took a big. So that's another reason it jumped up because of news. It did not sustain.
right
Counter
now,
trend. You got lucky trading the news.
right now, I got I actually had it on here, but I have it. I have this. I didn't know where to go. I have the site, but I don't have it set at anything in particular. So I want to be on the U.S. then.
That
Correct.
economic calendar, and that 10 a.m. this morning, Wednesday, September 4th.
Right.
That's the reason for that big candle that came in.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and you timed it right for gold. You happened to get lucky on it, but it was still counter trend. And if it wasn't for the news, I think you would have probably got rejected around that 10 EMA.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't get in on this. I didn't notice it until it was up here, and then it just shot up. Like,
Yeah, shot up, but it didn't
not getting
sustain.
in on that one. That's too late.
Yeah.
Because I saw it hitting up here. It's like, I don't think it's going to go past this. I'm seeing this, but looking back, I mean, it's got room to go up. We got some room, but got room to go down too. It's up there now. Pretty good. Keep my eyes on it today. Yes, I'm just going to focus on the gold mainly. I look at the other stuff, but I need to focus on one thing, I think, right now.
Yep. I encourage you to focus on, trust your, be consistent with your trend lines, define a rule. I mean, you've got this, again, we kind of talked about it. You did have a double bottom down here with some good follow through. So, but things still got rejected again from your 100. But what we got to watch with gold now is these lower highs coming in, and VWAP down in here. So lower highs, I'm not really looking for to go long with gold. I'm looking for a good entry to possibly, to continue short.
Yeah.
And again, looking down here on your 5-minute time frame, just kind of gives us that refined data, but overall, even though our VWAP, we're kind of above the VWAP, we've got to kind of watch this double top here. And
Yes.
kind of see what it's going to do. But gold can flush pretty quick, a lot of liquidation, and it can come up here, give us some bullish sentiment, and then it can flush really hard and pretty fast, come down, and then it kind of grinds back up.
Yeah, I noticed that it's got a lot of potential. Going up, coming back down.
So when
Choppy.
you define, hey, what candle or what conditions must be present for me to go long or short, and then just execute that consistently, Eric, that's going to be your recipe to start accumulating some gains. When you start doing the counter trend trade and think that because of this candle it's going to go this way, that's where it's going to get you in trouble.
Right. Yeah, scalp it real quick, possibly, but I want to stay away from the possiblies as much as possible and be more certain. If that's possible.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got some stuff to play with then. Appreciate it. You want to get together tomorrow morning, maybe the next couple of days, and do some gold trading?
We can look at it. We can look at it. If yeah, I've got some other trades working on the NASDAQ and some bots, but we can definitely look at it.
Okay. What time would be good for you?
Let's look at around 7:30 tomorrow, which would be 10:30 your time.
10:30. Okay, sounds good. Will do.
Awesome, Eric. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, appreciate it. Hey, thank you.
Buddy. Bye.